There's winged game, and then there's winged game, and then there's driven grouse. It's expensive, it's exclusive, but with good reason. Thousands of man-hours go into creating a habitat that will allow these ground-nesting Stinger missiles to flourish, and someone has to pay for it. Today we join a family and friend day shoot in Yorkshire. We're on Bransdale Moor and are guests of the Wilkinson family. Their estate and their shoot is managed by William Powell Sporting.
Because we are involved 365 days a year at Bransdale and on our other moors, we therefore have such a tremendous involvement. We make sure that every single day does live up to its expectations.
Mark Osborne from William Powell is the man who will be guiding us through the day, explaining the do's and don'ts, but etiquette, no tittering in the back row, and why grouse is flying royalty.
They are really the most extraordinary birds. You get grouse mid-September probably. As soon as they see you lift your gun, they flare away up so that where you've shot is not where the grouse are. Really amazing, an amazing bird, marvellous.
Before a hard day's shooting, there is a hearty breakfast to be had at the recently refurbished Stoneleigh Woods Manor. This amazing building has been fitted out in preparation for shooting parties to come and have a ball, on the moor and off it. There are 9 bedrooms with day rooms and dining rooms, all with spectacular views across the great British countryside. The moor itself is less than 10 minutes away, delving deeper into an uninterrupted moorland landscape. It truly is a privilege to be here. There are 9 guns today and 5 drives where the birds come at you at eye level. For this one, we're letting Mark get his eye in before we start badgering him about how one does things. Mark shoots 4 birds. The end of the line does not often deliver the best shooting, but he has done well. Dogs and beaters make sure that all the grouse on the ground are accounted for. The second drive is a bit more exposed and we should be able to see the birds coming at us from a distance. Mark is now in butt 3. Mark has a chance to talk us through the setup. The action can be fast and furious. Safety is the #1 concern.
The first thing I do is to look around me to see the topography, the line of the butts on either side, and the good shooting angle in front of me and then behind. The gun comes out of the sling. We put the gun on the front of the butt with 2 cartridges in the gun so that we're ready, because we're live at any time. Everybody's in their butts, so we can shoot whenever it's safe and the grouse are coming. We then get our butt sticks. And our buck sticks are positioned by the gun rather than by the loader, and these are a frame that makes sure that we cannot shoot into the butts on either side. So I look to see where is a safe place to shoot, and it's to stop there. So the buck stick has a window there which prevents us from shooting through into the butt on that side, and then we take the other butt stick out to do the same on the other side. We've got some flankers right up on the ridge there. They're probably out of shot, but just to be careful, we'll put a walking stick in front so there's no chance of us just peppering a flanker either. The flankers are flagmen running outside from the end butts, butt #1 and butt #8 on either end, and they're to keep the grouse coming in as the drive comes in.
Once the beaters get to a white marker in front of the guns, a horn blows, telling the guns they can now only shoot birds behind, to the rear of the butt. The beaters can then come right up to the guns. A second horn means the end of the drive and the birds can be picked. The guns should also use this disc to mark where the birds have fallen. Time for a quick break and an opportunity for us to speak to the man who is shouldering a lot of the pressure today, the head gamekeeper. For him, this shoot is the culmination of not months but years of work.
I mean, this is the first big moor that I've been a head keeper on. I was a head keeper on a small moor in Scotland. So coming here, this is the first moor that I can really put my mark on and want to smash all records on Bransdale. So the record was 4,200 brace for the season, and I mean we'd want to get it to 6. Very disappointed if we didn't get it to 6. And also the day record, although because it's a let moor, getting a team that's willing to pay for 500 brace of grouse could be quite difficult. So that's maybe not as realistic a goal, but certainly the season record is the one we want to go for.
Love your job?
Yeah, I love it, yeah. You have to, you wouldn't do it if you didn't.
Once fed and watered, there is more sport to be had. For this third drive, we join one of the best game shots in the world, Simon Ward. Simon used to compete very successfully on the clay circuit, but now concentrates on teaching sporting guns how to deal with a bird flying at just above ground level at 65 miles per hour. So, as we have him cornered, it would be rude not to ask him for a few pearls of wisdom.
First of all, it would be safety, and then the second major tip would be learn to mount the gun accurately onto a moving object. In this situation, you've got grouse coming at eye level, and if you tend to stand too upright and mount the gun with your head up in that position like so, you'll be looking at the grouse, but the barrels will be beneath your eye. So the idea is with anything at your eye level or below, you bring your head forwards, so your balance comes over your front foot, and as you mount the gun onto the bird, the gun comes up to the cheek naturally, and as a consequence, your lead eye, I'm a left-hander, so my lead eye, my left eye is in effect the back side. If I stand too upright with my head up, my eye will be in this position, and as a consequence, I'll be looking at the grouse up here, but the barrel will be beneath my eye, so I'll tend to shoot low. So if you start with your head a little bit further forwards, nose over your toes, and then bring the gun up naturally to the eye, now the gun will shoot where I look.
We don't get much shooting, but what does fly past does not need a second barrel. Lunch means a 3-course meal in this wonderful carriage. Life is good, and so is the food. And so is the shooting. For the penultimate drive, again we join Simon. This is the drive we've been waiting for. With the weather cooling, the birds are flying really fast. Nothing gets past Simon.
I'm sure you can see from the film it was all fairly exciting stuff, and the grouse whizzing around left, right and centre, and a few nice coveys coming through. We had to pick the right bird and set yourself up for a left and right, and 1 or 2 tricky ones out the back. So now that was, you've seen it in its in the flesh there. That's driven grouse shooting in all its glory.
For the last drive, we are really pushing the boat out. There's a chance of using a 4th barrel, sort of. Mark is shooting a pair of William Powell Zenith side by sides. Why is it important to have good guns when you are grouse shooting?
To me, it's lovely to shoot with a traditional gun side by side. The design of these guns is based on Holland and Holland action, and it hasn't changed for about 100 years. So that actual design of that action is nearly 100 years old, and Hollands are still made today exactly like that. And there's something really inherently wonderful about shooting with that sort of traditional gun in this very traditional environment.
If there were a place where these deserve an outing, it's here, and Mark believes that a side-by-side is actually better suited to grouse.
When you're shooting high pheasants or high partridges, having that tremendous balance of an over and under which goes on a single plane and doesn't flick about is a great advantage. When you're shooting a bird which is jinking right to left and then backwards and forwards like a grouse will do, having a gun that you can put into your shoulder and move it very quickly, a side-by-side is that gun and is probably an advantage.
It's been a fabulous day and we have bagged 102 brace. Grouse shooting is deep-seated in the fabric of this country. It's a high-octane sport that brings so many added benefits, from conservation to cash for rural communities, and there's a super social side whether you are a gun or a beater. If you want to book some grouse shooting or would just like to find out more about the estates managed by William Powell, go to williampowellsporting.co.uk. And if you want to turn up with a pair of smart William Powell shotguns in the back of your car, prices start at £7,500 for a pair of side-by-sides or £4,500 for a pair of over and unders. For more information, go to williampowell.com.